Tonight. The Student Association tries out a new system to attract more voters. NIU's athletic buildings may soon see some newcomers, and a local grocery store is in jeopardy. We'll explain. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
NIU Student Association election has been going on for the past 2 days, and this year's turnout is on its way to surpass last year's. Good evening, I'm Lauren Baker. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Carolyn Butvilas. More than 2,000 NIU students voted in the SA elections on Tuesday thanks to a new online voting system. But day 2 of the elections are off to a slow start. Even with the ease of the new online voting feature, early projections for voter turnout are still far below the SA's goal of 5,000 voters in the semester's election. More than 2,600 students voted in last year's election. Election volunteer Barney Schroeder says he's seen more students come out to vote this year.
My impression is that there are more people that are voting this year, and it might be because of it being online. It might be for handing out the gimmicks.
The athletic buildings on campus have always been exclusively used for NIU students and NIU athletes, but soon these buildings may be open to the rest of the student body.
NTC reporter Renato Sestaida has the story on the athletic department's plans to get more students to use these facilities for their own recreational purposes.
The Chesapeake Practice Center houses an indoor football field and advanced machines for working out. Regular students can't use it though. All non-student athletes are not allowed to use any of the equipment for now.
Yes, I'm actually extremely excited, especially considering I live right here in Stevenson. So it's closer than the rec. Even though that's close too, but this is closer.
Athletic Director Sean Frazier is planning on letting the whole student body, not just athletes, to use the facilities, including the stadium. The hope is to have more involvement from the student body on campus. Facilities like this one here at Husky Stadium may actually be used by the rest of the student body if the plan does go through, such as organizations, groups, and even club-based sports like lacrosse and rugby may actually use these facilities, which they are not allowed to use right now. The athletic department is still talking to donors and supporters to see if they would like to fund the initiative. Early signs point to support for all the facilities to be used. In DeKalb for NTC News, I'm Reynaldo Sustaita.
The plan is also part of the facility's master plan that calls for a budget of nearly $140 million to update athletic facilities as well as building new ones.
DeKalb grocery store Duck Stoop may be closing its doors after being in business for 40 years. Board member Patty Rubeck says the organization is struggling financially but is not insurmountable. Board members are holding on a meeting on Sunday to determine the future of the grocery co-op. Rubeck said the co-op's financial information will be presented on Sunday. The meeting will be open to the public, but only co-op members will be able to vote.
If you're a regular driver on the Tri-State Reagan Memorial or the Veterans Memorial tollways, get ready to see the speed limit go up in more places. For the several years, Illinois tollway traffic engineers have been reviewing traffic studies of the tollway to figure out where speeds can be raised safely. One stretch under review goes from Highway 47 to Sugar Grove on Interstate 88, where the speed limit drops from 70 miles an hour to 65. The higher speed limit could be approved in the upcoming weeks.
If you've ever wondered what would you do with a piece of roadside guardrail, police are wondering the same thing. DeKalb County deputies are looking for someone who stole a piece of guardrail sometime last week. The 300-pound rail, which had been damaged after an accident, was located near Chicago Road and Governor Beveridge Highway. There is a cash reward of $1,000.
In another troubling crime case, a DeKalb man is under arrest on 35 accounts of sexual assault of a child. Jeremy Westbrook was picked up on Friday after the Department of Children and Family Services reported the sexual abuse allegations. Westbrook has charges that go back to April 2012. Westbrook is in the DeKalb County Jail on a $500,000 bail under a hearing next month.
And in Sycamore officials are raising concerns about a new digital billboard that may be brought to town. A city ordinance states that billboards cannot be within 1,000 feet of other billboards and cannot be within 500 feet of residential property. The new digital billboard will violate both of these regulations. The Sycamore Media Network approached the Sycamore Planning Commission with a proposal to install a digital billboard on DeKalb Avenue.
What goes up must eventually come down, and old barns are no exception.
NTC reporter Amber Luckett has more on what a local Genoa business is doing to help farms in the area.
This barn here, like many others, is a sight to be seen all around DeKalb County. Since technology is advancing so fast, a lot of barns will go unused or replaced with steel structures.
Barns are not functional anymore. You know, they're older structures. There's not as much livestock out on the farms. So what they're doing is taking the barns down, but then the farms are putting up newer buildings that handle the equipment that we have today.
Because these barns are basically rotting away from the inside out, it's hard to believe that their wood is actually worth anything. With a lot of this wood here being worth about $3 a square foot, most of these barns are worth more torn down than they are up. Now the remains of those unused and unsuccessful barns can be seen here at the Old Barn Salvage in Genoa, but only in the form of a chair or nicely carved table. And all of the items here at the Barn Salvage have been preserved or handmade from the old wood of the barns. Although it's sad to see that these farms have grown old and worn down, the owners Mary and Bill Lloyd are doing everything they can to reclaim, repurpose, and resell the remains of these farms.
And I hate seeing the old barns going down, so that's why we're trying to salvage them, you know, and save as much as we can of Americana, you know. It's part of America that's leaving us, I guess.
The Lloyd family isn't just looking to make a profit off of these old barns. They are looking to salvage a part of America that continues to change right before our eyes. In Genoa, this is Amber Luckett, NTC News.
And you can go to the website oldbarnsalvage.com for more information.
Before we go any further, let's look at our weather window today for tomorrow. Brittany Merleau joins us now. So it's a little warmer compared to Monday's snowfall. Is there any chance we're going to see some warm weather soon?
Well, we're going to go back to winter for the next few days. There is a possibility for a warm-up, spring-like warm-up coming soon. But let's take a look at tomorrow's weather. We're going to see temperatures in the low to mid-40s across northern Illinois, and we actually have a 20% chance of some snow showers Thursday night. So for more on this roller coaster-like weather, stay tuned. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning. Why?
Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this.
You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately.
That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Welcome back, everyone. Today was actually a high of 45 degrees. I know it didn't feel like that. We hit that temperature earlier in the day, and those temperatures continue to fall as what we actually really felt was that 26-degree wind chill. That's why you're all bundled up today, wishing you remembered those gloves. If you did, that was a good idea. And this morning, if you woke up early enough, we had a visibility of only 2.5 miles. That fog rolled in and those overcast skies, and we've only reached a visibility of 4 miles today. And that is because of the system that went through this morning. You can see it just pushed its way right through, and here's our next little area of concern. And what's going to happen with that is right now it's currently popping up down to the south. We have some possibility for some severe weather. It's going to skim us tonight just to the south of us. We're going to see some clear skies Thursday, but Thursday night winds are going to shift, and we're going to see a possibility of some snow flurries off the lake. Clear skies again on Saturday, but Sunday, again, a possibility for some rain to push down towards us. Now, Thursday night, this is what's going to happen. That low pushed over, it's going to be up here. It's going to rotate counterclockwise, bringing all those winds off the lake. We can see right here, these little lines are going to start to shift downwards, and it's going to penetrate that cold, cold air. As those are just coming off, and that's where we might see some lake effect snow. Now tonight, it's going to be cloudy with a slight chance of rain from 8 to midnight with a low of 32 degrees. Might feel a little bit colder than that. And as we go on to Thursday, that sun's going to try to peek its way through the clouds, We're hoping to see a high of 42 degrees, melting away some of that snow. Winds are going to gust up to 25 miles per hour, so it's going to be a little bit colder on Thursday. And as we move on to Thursday night, cloudy skies again, low of 21, but we have a possibility for some snow showers. It wouldn't be too much, maybe less than an inch, but do keep in mind that it is a possibility for that to come down as the winds are going to be shifting from the north. So Thursday, 42 degrees, there's that snow possibility. We're going to wake up Friday morning to those cold, chilly temperatures with only a high of 32 degrees. Yes, the sun's going to be shining on Friday and Saturday, but it's going to be very, very cold out there. We're hitting lows of down at the teens again. So it's going to feel like winter for the next few days, but here's the good news, some possible spring-like warm-up. So stay tuned, come back on Monday, listen to Emery's forecast, and hopefully it'll be warmer temperatures from there. And that's it for weather. Send you to the desk.
Illinois' unemployment rate continues to drop, so who's hiring?
A huge merger in the food industry here in Illinois. Let's look at today's state lines. H.J. Heinz Company is buying Illinois-based Kraft Foods Group, creating what could be the third largest beverage and food company in North America. The combined company brands will include Kraft, Heinz, Oscar Mayer, and others.
The Illinois jobless rate fell to 6% in February. State officials say the trade, transportation, and utilities sector and the professional and business services sector each grew by more than 5,000 jobs last month. The state unemployment rate was about 8% last year.
A man accused of killing his wife at a hospital has been charged with murder. Prosecutors say Javier Bajina stabbed his wife of 20 years with a screwdriver because he thought she was having an affair. Francisca Quintero was attacked at Alexian Brothers Medical Center in Elk Grove Village hours after her brother died of a heart attack.
A man is facing reckless conduct charges for a fire that scorched 5 acres of wetland in Woodstock. 50-year-old David Ashley says he was burning garbage at a campsite on Monday when the flames flared out of control. And those are today's state lines. Thousands of U.S. troops were supposed to be home by the end of this year, but the plan has changed.
And 2 Americans are among the dead in a plane crash in the French Alps. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch. A Germanwings plane with at least 150 people on board crashed on Tuesday in the foothills of the Alps of the southeast France. Officials say the plane is obliterated with no piece of debris larger than a small car. One of the plane's data recorders has been found and sent to investigators. The plane was en route to Düsseldorf, Germany, where it went down.
Some U.S. troops that expected to be home before the end of the year are getting an extended stay in Afghanistan. President Obama says nearly 10,000 U.S. troops will stay in that country. Previously, the White House planned to reduce that number to 5,500 by the end of this year. The request is in response to the ongoing threat from Al-Qaeda and the Taliban.
Apparently, some federal government employees haven't felt the need to get their taxes done on time. According to a report out Tuesday, federal workers and retirees owe the IRS $3.5 billion. Today, the House Oversight Committee is looking at a bill that could penalize federal workers for being late with their taxes.
The head of the Secret Service is facing a House Oversight hearing over this video from earlier in the month. The 2 agents reportedly drove through an active bomb investigation following a staff party. Initial reports suggest that the 2 senior agents had been drinking, but the footage cannot confirm that suspicion. And that's today's World Watch.
What an exciting time of the year for sports fans. Hello everyone, I'm Brett Tudela for NTC Sports. NBA and NHL playoff pushes, the Sweet 16 starting tomorrow, and spring training baseball headline late March sports action. The Blackhawks are on a short East Coast trip that started Monday night in Raleigh, North Carolina to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Jumping right into the first period action, the puck will find its way behind the net to Marcus Kruger right there. He draws those 2 defenders, feeds Shaw in front. Shaw buries it, 1-0 Blackhawks. A little over a minute later, Marion Hossa will get the puck on the left wing boards, coming up right about there. He takes a shot on net. Sharp tips it in. 2-0 Blackhawks on 2 shots. Second period now. Carolina's Eric Stahl gets behind the defense on a breakaway. Corey Crawford makes a nice save, but Victor Rask is there to clean up the garbage, cutting the Hawks' lead in half. That would be the only puck that gets past Corey Crawford, as he had a solid game, stopping 43 of 44 shots. Hawks win 3-1. Here's a quick look at the top 4 in the Central Division, where the Blackhawks stand 4 points behind the Nashville Predators, 5 points behind the St. Louis Blues, but the important number here is this right here, games played. Blackhawks have 2 games in hand over the Predators and the Blues, so they could pick up 2 extra games and 4 extra points catching up to the Predators. That would be important because the top 2 seeds in the division would guarantee the Blackhawks home ice advantage for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now on to basketball, as the Bulls hosted the Charlotte Hornets at the United Center on Monday. Right into the highlights, some quick ball movement as Niko Mirotic finds Kirk Heinrich, who bangs the triple, putting the Bulls up 5. Third quarter action, now Al Jefferson blocks his Jimmy Butler layup. This will lead to the other end of the floor as Kemba Walker really puts Taj Gibson in the mixer there, and he hits the layup. Pau Gasol gets in on the action later in the third as he drives baseline on Jefferson, hitting this reverse one-handed dunk. A little bit boring, but you know, it got the job done. This, however, this is the dunk that really got people out of their seats. Niko Mirotic goes up and slams it down hard, putting the emphasis on the Bulls' 98-86 win. The Bulls' playoff scenario looks a little bit like this. They sit in third place in the Eastern Conference standings, 3 games behind the Cleveland Cavaliers right here, and then only Toronto is about a half a game behind the Bulls. The Bulls might want to be looking towards that 4th place spot if they want to avoid a second-round matchup with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If they wanted to, they could rest some of their banged-up players like Joakim Noah, Jimmy Butler, and Taj Gibson. Let's see how they play it coming down the stretch, though. On to our play of the day as we stay in the NBA, heading north to Milwaukee. Closing seconds when the Bucks, Jared Bayless misses this layup. The ball will get tipped around here. Zaza Pachulia saves it, throws it over to Chris Middleton, who hits the 3 right at the buzzer for the win. Usually you see this kind of excitement for college basketball, but the NBA gives us our play of the day right there. A quick hit in the world of baseball. Some of you may have been hearing about this guy right here, Chris Bryant. In only 28 at-bats, the 2013 Cubs first-rounder has hit for a .464 average. He's hit 9 home runs. He's driven in 15 runs. And his on-base plus slugging is over 2,000. To put that into perspective, last year's MLB leader in OPS finished with a .974 OPS. The Cubs have come out and said that Bryant's going to start in AAA Iowa this season. Whether you believe that's for him to work on his defense or maybe for the Cubs to get an extra year on his contract when he turns 29, you can believe that or you can decide not to believe that. We'll see him in the big club this season for sure, though. That's it for me here with sports. Dan Kenny will have the weekend's recap for you.
After the break, we'll find out where the best place is to retire. The answer may surprise you.
You're coming in for the interview.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, we got your personal references, your resume, high school diploma or equivalent.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Yes, it's right there.
Great.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
You would think Florida and Hawaii are the best places to live for retirees, right?
Well, think again. New research from a recent study suggests that Wyoming is the best state to enjoy your retirement. The study looked at several factors including weather, cost of living, crime rate, tax burden, and health care. Believe it or not, Florida and Hawaii didn't even crack the top 10. Hawaii, in fact, finished 44th, just 6 spots ahead of the last place Arkansas.
Note to self, don't ever retire in Arkansas.
I don't care what that study says. If I get the opportunity to live in Hawaii, I'm gonna take it.
NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back at the same time on Monday. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye, everyone.